speak on behalf of them individuals and like see if we can like get an opportunity for these guys and women to fulfill that void of change in their life.
Okay, okay. Well,
And
I tell you what, we're gonna get back to that in 1 second. I wanted to ask you this question. How old were you when you first started, to experience incarceration, or when you first got locked up? How old were you when it first started for you?
man, well, it first started for me when I was 18 years old. I was incarcerated.
Wow.
So the funny thing about that is what I've
Wow.
come to learn throughout educating myself is how are we putting people through a system or condemning them for a condition that society has created for these individuals.
Mm,
So you put us in low income living situations, condemn us to a struggle, and then convict us for these struggles.
mm. Wow, that's a powerful perspective and way of looking at it right there.
And that's what breeds systematic injustice right there.
Wow.
When you confine somebody to a system and then incarcerate them based off of that system.
Would this subject matter we talking about right now fall under politics?
For sure, because it's the politicians who are creating policies.
Wow.
And these policies that create demise inside of the human standards that we live as.
Wow.
So our normal way of living is usually condemned by somebody who's never lived in the likes of our footsteps or shoes.
So you're right. It's hard to be able to understand or relate to somebody if you've never been under those circumstances and conditions. But I wanted to ask you this. So, what prison did you go to? And I mean, you didn't even have a chance at adulthood or manhood yet. You were still like at 18. You kind of still like a young man. You're not really a full man. Your brain is still developing. You know what I mean? Like your brain hadn't even finished developing yet. Like when
Right.
you look at how they say our brain stops in the early 20s or whatever. But I mean, wow. So can you tell us a little bit about where you went and how that experience was for you?
You know, it's crazy because even till today, at 45 years old, I'm still still somewhat, some way, dumping some of those traumas from being an 18-year-old and being incarcerated. I still find myself dumping some of that um, trauma out,
Okay. Would that be considered PTSD?
for sure. Anybody that's reduced to a lower standard of living is going to have some type of trauma or PTSD
Mm,
because the standard of normalized living, you don't find that in incarceration. It's a
mm,
lower levelized portion of living that they would consider you as what they call low life.
wow.
So if we're in a level of harm reduction, like everything we do facing an incarceration has a level of harm inside of it,
Hmm.
degradation. So at 18 years old, you basically feel like you're degraded and your life means nothing anymore.
Wow. And
So
it and it, and it also gives you a false sense of reality. Almost make you think that this is how life gonna always be, or kill your spirit a little bit. Probably a whole lot of things, huh?
oh, absolutely, your spirit's broken. Because at 18 years old, you don't even know what a spirit is, and before you even gain a spirit, they take it.
Mm, wow. And were you scared? Was that a maximum security prison you were in?
Yeah, that was a penitentiary. So, at 18 years old, you grow or gain what you call survival instincts.
Mm,
And through those survival instincts, you start to lose a little bit of your morality.
mm, wow. So was it due to you seeing violence, or was it because of you having to defend yourself in there? Can you give us a little bit more? Like we trying to see like what it was, because I mean, what was the name of the prison?
It was Lewisburg Penitentiary.
Mm. And that's a very dangerous place, wasn't it?
Man, when I was there in 1996, it definitely was.
You seem made it through there and being so young, you seem like you didn't have any problems. I mean, you seem to be in everything seemed to be good with you. So
Well, sometimes there was like, I don't want to say it's like luck, but you meet up with older people who can
mm,
generally guide you
mm,
in a good manner inside of a penitentiary because they haven't lowered their standards of morality to meet that penitentiary level.
absolutely. Them old heads, huh? Yeah,
Yes, the
I
older
agree with that.
generation inside of the in prison. So these guys are the guys that keep you and try to tell you to educate yourself and grow.